Hi everyone, welcome back to Cardvoyant. I'm Kris and I'm your Cardvoyant, and I'm here again with some more Jacob's Journal material. So, Jacob's Journal material. For those of you, if you haven't seen before, this is information from a group of guides that have asked to be, or maybe made it easier for me to be referred to as Jacob. And this Jacob's Journal is just things that I receive from them in meditation, usually in the form of kind of automatic writing, although lately I've been doing some recordings. Right now, just voice memo recordings, but we'll talk about that later. So this first message that I received on July 3rd was just like a little short, just like it's a paragraph, and it was just, I had been thinking about the ways in which we create, the ways that we sort of bring things into the world. As you may know from my other videos, in my working life, I was a writer, and that's sort of this idea of bringing something that you feel inside you into physical existence, right? And this short message was about that, and it was just kind of I think a reassuring thing for me, thinking about these things, and a little bit of an explanation for it. So this is from July 3rd, and it says simply, "These expressions of eternity, beautifully felt and longing to escape and arise into physical existence. This is an unfolding from the inside out, a layering of the immortal upon the mortal, thus allowing expansion and growth through physical reality." It was just kind of a nice little message about our creative selves in whatever form that takes. It doesn't have to be like an artistic venture. It's these expressions of ourselves, the things that we want to do, that we really are passionate about doing. So I thought it was a nice message about the ways in which the physical expresses the eternal. So this next entry is from July 6th, and like a lot of these Jacob's Journal entries, it talks about kind of some big questions, and they're questions that I tend to have in my mind a lot, but it answers them on a scale, hopefully, that is helpful to you. I know they're helpful to me. So it begins. Existence, beingness, is a system of added to. It is as if beingness, source, is ever reflected as in limitless mirror images, and each and every precise and vast, haphazard and minuscule moment, thought, occurrence, is reflected throughout the infinity of images, which are probabilities immersed in the process of growth and expansion. Earthly existence, indeed all physical existences, of which there are an innumerable quantity, engage in this ever expansion, this expression of source, and more importantly, the possibility of source in ways that are not possible in non-physical existence. Although growth and expansion, learning, takes place in all realms, for all are source and all engage in the pathway and purpose of source. Thus, as you are a reflection and a part, each of you, each circumstance, each opportunity to learn and grow, whether experienced as a positive in your terms or negative instance, are an important and indeed incalculably precise and therefore necessary cog in the great machinery of the all that is. Thus, each of your lives, and indeed every second of your physical existence, has meaning and is purpose, which is expansion and joyous birth and rebirth, continually, of the universe, which we also refer to as the all that is. The small part, indescribably small part of existence that is termed your current physical and mortal experience is also, you see, of immeasurable importance. Thus we say, as it is in heaven, so too on earth. For all creation rejoices in each tiny, nearly unseeable movement experienced by you and all about you in your physical world. Each breath, each thought, and each shift of the wind and reflective bit of warmth, light, and glory emitted by the sun. The movement of the ant upon its hill, the bee within its flower, ripples through the universe, the all that is, with a joyous fervor that is reflected again and again and again throughout the never-ending, limitless reflections that comprise the everything, and thus source is forever renewed. Therefore, you too may rejoice in every movement and every breath, for never is there a stagnation that stifles or stops this expansion and growth of which you are a part, an equal and equally important part. Therefore, let your happiness likewise remain unbounded and hopeful and trusting in the knowledge of your importance and equal place among all other beings and things within the universe. Go forth in love, exploring all things about which you are curious and in which you find joy and earthly purpose, for all are important, all are worthy. And as you do so, all heaven, all eternity, and indeed the all that is, rejoices. For this joy, this happiness, this love is indeed the basis of, the purpose of, the very being of you, everything about you and within you. Again, the all that is. So this next one is from July 7th. And I did have kind of a period where I received several over several days, like consecutively, which doesn't regularly happen. But it was kind of one of those times when I was in a lot of reflective moods. And this was another one that was accompanied by some really interesting imagery. You have stepped into this physical role as a costume and take part on the world stage as in a play. And yet, you are not here to merely recite your dialogues, meet your marks, respond to your cues. Because you are both actor, participant, and writer, you are here to reshape, reform, and indeed rewrite this play in total or in many individual acts and scenes. This change goes forth with the agreement and blessing of all others involved. The time and space you occupy in which this drama or comedy now plays out. All are granted the same liberties of creation as part of the promise and direction of creation, physical life. These options and changes and creative possibilities play out in all direction as probabilities, which are within your right and ability to explore. Surely this learning is the greatest gift given your species, and indeed all of existence, which is the great liberty and joy of the all that is. Fear is the great restrictor of possibility, condemning lives to mere shadows of the totality of love and passion and fascination they contain. Fear limits and restricts individuals, and in their fear and frustration, they in turn attempt to limit and frustrate others. This frustration manifests itself as the great precursor to hate, greed, violence, envy, and lives that could have been lived in joy and victory and love and growth, to be reduced to a small box of self that leaves physical that leaves physical existence much as it entered. Always there is learning, but learning unaccompanied by joy and joyous soul growth is a limited life indeed, and many who live such lives are chastened and choose to study and build the energy, strength, and fearlessness of their own souls, their essence, before attempting a return to physical existence. While others are very anxious to return at once, supremely anxious to let loose their souls and grow joyously, thus proving to themselves they retain the fearless love ever present in the non-physical world, even as they bravely return into the dense and often treacherous energy and vibrations of earth life, physical existence. At times, these anxious and chastened souls incarnate into the same families they so recently left, thus recreating circumstances nearly perfectly in an effort to overcome obstacles they feel they previously were unable to address and overcome. Here, with these second lifetimes that are in many ways still a part of the first, they challenge themselves to rise above fear and all of its accompanying emotions: hate, envy, greed, judgment, anger, resentment, and more, to add to the joy and expansion of their own souls, thus affecting this about themselves and by extension all others and the all that is. Nevertheless, fear is not easily overcome, and always there is help and guidance for you while in physical form from the non-physical world. And upon return, whether in victory or disappointment, you are joyously, lovingly welcomed home, not with judgment, but rather with unbounding love and intimate understanding. For love is the basis of all existence, and never will it be otherwise. And always, always, it is extended to you, as you are both worthy of giving and receiving its unbounded expansiveness and unending power. This is the power of Source, of the universe, of which you are an integral, irreplaceable part, always and forever. So, this last entry for this video is from July 8th, and it came with also a lot of beautiful images and, addressed some of the things that I had been thinking about that day. And it begins. There is power in a sunrise, as it stands in actual meaning and as metaphor. For here each day you begin again, and begin again in a new and bright and yet eternal energy, naturally infused and freely, most happily given. This is an offering of renewal and available to all if, as with so many other of physical life's rich gifts, you will but recognize its giving and avail yourselves of its intent and rich blessings. For while we in the non-physical world are ever watching over and ever in contact with you, so too are the energies of the earth and all its components, all that surround, support, and enlightens. Why then will you not welcome the day's break and step into the light, the warmth, energizing, and healing light? We mean this in the most literal of ways, urging you to your windows and door frames, your spaces both small and large that welcome you into the collective, unconstrained, outside, outdoors, Gaia, Mother Earth. For indeed she will suckle and nurture you as a true mother, never wavering in her support of you and love for you. And yet, we also speak in metaphor, For always do our words edge you toward the light and love, safety and reassurance of the gift of physical life and your important, unique, irreplaceable place within it. Here you expand and grow and bring forth the continual new, just as the dawn continually renews the day. Therefore, lift your heads, your bodies, your souls toward the sunlight, the breaking of a new day, each new day. Step into and absorb this light and energy both literally and figuratively. For within its energizing, renewing beams, you are given strength to persevere in the face of inevitable nightfall, while understanding the power of the light and the promise of its inevitable coming. Embrace this gift of energy, hope, strength, and renewal, for it is happily, freely, specifically, and purposefully given you with the greatest of loving intention. So there you have it. I hope these are interesting to you. I hope that they have meaning to you. They have a great deal of meaning to me, and I tend to go over them and over them again. They are available in written form or, in a Word document on my website if it's something that you would like to print out and have for yourself. Hopefully, if this shorter format, maybe it'll, have a chance to sort of sink in a little bit more. But with that, I will just say, as I always do, please take care of yourself. Please take care of others. And until our next video, I'll just say bye for now.